and welcome to Afris Concept TV, where we give you the latest news, gist, and gossips. And now to the news of today. The headline: Nigeria treats us like slaves, but is Biafra the answer? Now to the main news. It is 50 years since Nigeria's brutal civil war, calling for the secession of Biafra started. By the time it ended in 1970, over 1 million people had perished. Now, a new movement has emerged calling for independence. The BBC, Tomi Oladapo, and Stephanie Haggerty explore its popularity. Hidden high in the luscious green hills of Enugu in southeast Nigeria, down a beaten track under a sign that says Leprosy Colony is the Biafran War Veterans Camp. Like its location, residents there are verging on obscurity. 4 old men sitting on parallel wooden benches, propped up on metal crutches, swaying and chanting along to an old battle song. They fought and were crippled in the bloody Biafran War. We went to that war with nothing. We went empty-handed, says Francis Joko. Some held machetes, some had sticks. There, Nigerian forces had machine guns. Mr. Njoko, now 69, lost his kneecap in a gun battle. It was a desperate fight for survival, but it ended in a ceasefire and Biafra became part of Nigeria again. At the end of the war, the Nigerian head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, declared there was no victor, no vanquished. This became the motto of reunification. But for many people in the southeast, the reunion has been an uneasy one. If you come to Igbo land, you can see there is no development here, says Mr. Njoko. It is a common perception we heard many times here that Igbo people are marginalized in Nigeria that only serve the interest of 2 other main ethnic groups, the Hausa and the Yoruba. Excuse me. Although government statistics show that poverty rates are far higher in the north than other regions, there are some genuine complaints. In almost 30 years of democracy, Nigeria has had an Igbo president. We still need Biafra, says Mr. Njoko. Nigerians are maltreating us like slaves. It is a strong sentiment and one that a new crop of activists is playing on. Among them, a new leader has emerged. Despite bail conditions saying he cannot speak to the press, Nnamdi Kanu agreed to our request for an interview. We were to meet in his father's compound in the southeastern town of Umuahia, the last bastion of the Biafra state before its surrender. As we approached Umuahia, we were greeted by a large crowd that has seemingly been organized for our benefit. We saw Nnamdi Kanu. He has gold and black clothes wrapped around his shoulders and a matching gold cap on his black suede designer loafers. They are calling for Biafra, he says softly, with a smile. All of this for a cause that has him facing treason-related charges in court. Basic human development, basic economic development, basic social development can no longer be attained for the simple reason that there exists in the polity mutual suspicion, mutual hatred, mutual resentment, he says. So the best thing to do is to separate. Ipob claims this existing state would make up an independent Biafra, Nigeria, Abuja, Lagos, and Enugu. Mr. Kanu is calling for Biafran independence through a referendum. We just want to control our political destiny so that we can build factories, build our roads, cities, bridges, not having to depend on somebody in the capital city, Abuja. The indigenous people of Biafra IPOB movement that he leads believes an independent region will resolve the issue of the marginalization of the Igbos, but they also want to bring the non-Igbo, all-rich Niger Delta into the breakaway state. They insist it was part of the original Biafra. Should any other part of Nigeria wish to join Biafra, they are welcome to do so, as long as they are Judeo-Christian, the value system that underpins Biafra. The movement for Biafra clearly has significant influence around the southeast of Nigeria. A recent stay-at-home protest ordered by Ipob was heeded in many towns. However, it seems from many people we spoke to in the region that while they support the idea of Biafra, they are not clear as to where it may take them. The generation that witnessed the war insist on pacifism. As the men of the veteran camp told us, we are talking about dialogue, not by fighting, said Mr. Njoko. Some are profoundly afraid of where the current rhetoric could lead. When the war broke out, he moved to the Biafran Republic to work with the Red Cross. Reverend Moses Ilu, who is an Igbo, but he grew up in the north and now lives in the southwestern commercial hub of Lagos. The war was one of the crudest you can find, he recalls. Sometimes there will be more than 50 to 100 children. You would dig a big trench and pour dead bodies in. I was there. I'm not telling you a lie, the suffering was so bad. Like many Igbos, he supports their ethnic solidarity but sternly warns that any attempt to secede again would be catastrophic. Nigeria will not let them go, they will slaughter them, and the whole world will turn their head and say it's an internal affair. Over the years, the Nigerian government has always ruled out the possibility of the country's fragmentation. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo recently addressed the Biafra issue. Clearly, our strength is in our diversity, that we are greater together than apart. He said, brotherhood across tribes and faith is possible. Though for some, these leaders are the problem, entrenched in the corruption that plagues Nigerian politics. Mr. Kano has called on his followers to boycott upcoming local and national elections. The people of the Southeast are left with a choice: stick with their current leaders and Nigeria, or choose a much less certain path. This Biafra issue is so long. The issue, it's enough for them to be angry. They have every right to be angry, and they have every right to ask for their own nation so that they will not depend. If it is solely for that reason, even me, I'll support them. If they can have their own nation, their own country, where Igbo people are very industrious and they help one another. I love that about them. If a Biafran country is what they want, I think the government should just give it to them. They are not even stressing you. They don't even want anything from you. Just let us have our own country. And we will do everything we can to support ourselves, to build our own country the way we want. I don't think it is hard. My listeners, what do you think? Kindly leave your thoughts in the